this. Okay, going live in 5.
Welcome, students, to Monk Meditation, the show about monks in the world of Warcraft.
6.2 has been released. We're going to go over the changes, talk about Hellfire Assault, and discuss the hotfixes that keep rolling in. Coming up on Monk Meditation, episode 51.
Here's your host, Chai T.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Monk Meditation, show all about the best class in the game, monks. Alright, we are joined today by 2 of our 3 co-hosts. The other one, well, we'll figure that out shortly. Let's check in with tonight's host on how WoW is now in...
Storm. Earth.
And fire!
Alright, our newest co-host, Monkio. How you doing?
I am not Monkio. However, I have been tasked with the task of explaining his current absence. Now, if you can imagine, right now, first week of Hellfire is out. Imagine the American team, midwinter. They are out in the snowy wilderness of Russia. There is snow, logs, the human will. They are training. Man, the force being made. They are working hard. Elsewhere, and in this world of Warcraft, in this high-tech training facility, possibly nefarious means of enhancement being used, we have the Europeans' method. Now, you might have seen this in a movie. All I can say is right now, gentlemen, we have a Monkio montage.
Yeah, but we don't actually have that montage on file. I didn't get the clip.
No, but so he'll be here hopefully soon. He is currently busy, working very hard, getting ready for Mythic, releasing tomorrow.
Yes. All right, well, going to our co-host, Air. Air, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. You know, it's been a good week. It's been a good first week of raiding. Working as intended. We finished off the week 5 of 13 Heroic.
Well done.
We did have a kind of a heartbreaking RNGesus bad construct in the middle of our stat group during the soul-sucking phase of Gorefiend that produced a 1.5% wipe.
Oh.
But other than that, you know, a lot of good progress. We got a good-sized group, which is good. We'll hopefully be able to hit Mythics once we finish clearing Heroics. And, yeah, we're pressing forward. Waiting for week 2. We're ready for it. Let's do it! Let's do it!
Fantastic. All right, going to our salty co-host, the Brewmaster, Grumpy Cat, Blue. How you doing, sir?
Also the laggy co-host,
Yes.
good sir.
Yes.
I did a rating thing this week.
What?
Twice, actually, technically. But I did actually get to raid as a Brewmaster this time. I've still been incredibly busy with the new job, training, and now apartment hunting and whatnot. But I may potentially have a raid team going forward, also known as Rectified.
Yay.
Chai, if you want to get a little bit more with that.
Sure. Yeah, so for me, I've been in WoW pretty much every day since the patch hit. Doing the dailies, trying to get those reps up, doing the shipyard. So 6.2 has brought me back in. Lady Chai and I have been enjoying it quite a bit. It's really nice that I'm off of work for the next few weeks, so I get to get bored with the content quickly and in a big spurt right at the beginning, and then
I have to interject here.
What?
I don't even know if my ships are still floating, the one transport that I have, because I that's how much I've done. I got over to Tanan, and that's my shipyard. That's the life of it.
For each their own, right? Yeah. So, raid-wise, Rolling Thunder, we went in on Friday night, and LeBlue was able to join us for the last time, unfortunately. And we got 5 of 13 normal. Gorefiend also proved a little tricky for us. Our major problem is that of our 9 DPS, 5 of them are melee. And that's causes some issues in like Gorefiend, and the biggest one was Kilrog. Not having the range back there to kill the Bloods and the ads very quickly. Had a lot of really close encounters with ads right about to hit the platform by the time they got killed. So we actually had to switch out one of our rogues for his boomkin to get that done. So if you were ranged DPS looking for a heroic team going into Hellfire Citadel, let us know. And Rectified, on Saturday morning, we went 3 of 13 heroic. We just went straight into heroic. We only raid 4 hours a week, so we're kind of skipping normal, and we'll see how good of a decision that was. So far, we're doing okay. The first boss tended to give us some issues. The second boss, Iron Reaver, LeBlue was tanking, and we had our other Druid tank, and the tank team was quite nervous about that. What was it? What's that mechanic called? Where
the artillery?
Artillery, yeah. Every time artillery dropped, it was like someone would run off to Timbuktu.
Yeah. Hopefully that's kind of worked out this week, because I told you, I think I had to remind him not to freak out as soon as he got it every single time, and I'm sure we'll get it with time.
It'll get smoother, but that one actually went a lot better in the first boss. Hellfire Assault actually held us back quite a bit. We just weren't.
Don't forget to mention my glory moment.
Yes.
Mention it.
Okay. In Iron Reaver, we got the kill with one person left standing for the last, I think, 700,000 health. Might have been a little bit more than that. Everybody just kind of disintegrated, and LeBlue ended up tanking the last little bit, saving us another pull. So thank you.
I'm getting really good at that. I've done that so many times.
And our raid lead was apparently a fan of yours, or at least has followed you a little bit. I think he listens to the show, so he knew about your Chromog moment doing that as well in Mythic. So well done.
Hooray. I'm awesome.
Brewmaster surviving. Go
figure. Wait till I have the 4-piece.
Right.
Then it'll be even better.
All right, well, it's time to get caught up in the crazy whirlwind of WoW news in
Dizzying haze.
So in case you weren't aware, you may want to open up your WoW client if you've been bored of the content for a little while, because there's all new content. 6.2 has been released, and a lot of stuff out there. Whole new questing zone, new raid, new part of your garrison with the shipyard. Lots of little changes here and there. So let's go over kind of the major changes for each spec and see what's happened. So we'll start off with Brewmasters. So LeBlue, what has happened with Brewmasters going into 6.2?
So the biggest thing you'll notice is, first off, is we don't shrug off everything that happens to us. We're going to initially, particularly if you're tackling content you're maybe not adequately geared for, such as you did a lot of normal and some heroic BRF, and now you're moving into normal Hellfire, or even heroic BRF to heroic Hellfire. You're going to feel a little bit squishier for sure, and that's a lot of it is because of the change to stagger and our base stagger being so much lower now. That said, all of our stagger is now passive, so if shuffle drops, that's not a huge deal. But the biggest thing is this problem effectively fixes itself with our 4-piece, but it will require a bit of awareness and kind of playing with it and being really good with your energy management to get the maximum effectiveness with it. And the big thing that is going to change for us, though, is going to be our talent choices and stat priorities a little bit. And I've said this before, but Ascension, it stops being completely trash and actually becomes our best talent for survival when you get your 2-piece. Likewise, when you get your 4-piece, haste goes from your bottom of the barrel stat to roughly even with crit, fight depending. So if you don't have your 2-piece, you want to stick with power strikes. And if you don't have 4-piece, haste will still be your lowest stat priority. Otherwise, mostly the same, other than you'll see red stagger significantly less frequently. And that's both due to the lower stagger and the raid being more magic damage based versus physical like BRF was.
Right. Yeah. Both raid teams I raid with have a Brewmaster tank, and definitely they noticed it. Of course, you're one of them, Lil Blue, but it was definitely noticeable. And Air, I think you had a little bit of Brewmaster experience, eh?
Yeah, holy moly. So, Mazer, our wonderful Brewmaster tank for working as intended, is out camping for the week. And so I was actually able to tank Kilrog and Gorefiend last night. Kilrog is not a big deal. You know, send a healer down, you negate the tank swap, so I get to stick on ads the entire time. Super nice, really easy, you know, pop a guard here and there. You know, but you feel it. You know, you feel like, huh, my health is a little bit more. So, but not too bad of a boss to get through it. Gorefiend.
You know, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Gorefiend. Don't look at my logs. Gorefiend. Holy crap! Like, that being trucked, and like, I mean, granted, I'm 690 on my what do you call it, Brewmaster. So maybe a little bit slightly lower than some other people would be tanking heroic like that, but that hurt. That was like, I gotta like reupholster my seat after like clinching so hard. This thing is ridiculous. So, Brewmasters, take heart. You will get hit a little bit harder. It will be okay.
Hey, everybody was talking about how overpowered Brewmasters were and how boring it had become. So now you actually have to pay attention to mechanics. Congratulations! Until you
I
get
have
the
to
4
screen
piece.
for external cooldowns.
Right.
That's like that's the change basically. Until I get 4 piece, and then I won't carry. anymore,
So
but
you come to parity with all the other tanks that have to screen for external cooldowns for a little
except
while.
for Death Knights and Guardian Druids.
That's fine. And my camera sucks. Hello, camera.
Karn in the chat is dropping the smack
Yeah.
right now.
Carrying your undergeared Brewmaster spec, it hurts more than being a Brewmaster.
Well, that and the fact that our playstyle has slightly changed because of that, and I have no idea what I'm doing because I've been windwalking most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's go into Windwalker changes. So a little bit has changed there. The playstyle kind of still the same until you start getting your 2 and 4 piece.
yeah.
But the way you get to your numbers is different. So a lot of our abilities were nerfed, a significant amount, but then we had Tiger Eye Brew. No, Tiger Eye Brew ended up not changing, right?
Correct. That change was reverted.
Tiger Strikes
Yes.
got a buff. And so the way we get to our numbers is different, but we're still going to be okay.
And we are granted an additional 10% multi-strike off battle trance.
Right.
You know, that was, I mean, that was added. It used to be, it was 5%,
Yeah.
got buffed during the PTR 15%. So we got a base more multi-strike off the bat, which is kind of nice.
Right. So
But overall, yeah, not too many changes for Windwalker. You're still fast, furious. It's when you start getting your 2-piece, your 4-piece, these other trinkets that things start really getting interesting.
yeah,
I
it's kind of nice that developers are basically just tweaking kind of with the numbers, but not with the playstyle. So
Yep.
it means that we're kind of in a good place until we get our new mastery, whatever that is. Mistweavers, your changes are as follows. We got nerfed due to Windwalkers being nerfed again, and that's for mainly Crane Stance, only Crane Stance really. And then Revival got a range nerf for PvP. That's about it. Your playstyle is the same until you get the 2 and 4 piece, and the trinket, the Archimon trinket, is going to be what's really going to be opening up possibilities for you. As powerful as that thing is, originally we thought it was kind of crap, but with a number of stack fights and the fact that your statue gets to mimic that trinket as well, so you can have 2 different splash areas going on, it can be pretty darn powerful depending on the fight. So a lot of opportunities for maximizing your playstyle per encounter for Mistweaver. So it's going to be a good tier for us. Let's keep it going. Have some fun there. All right, hotfixes coming in since the patch. Windwalker, your 2-piece for tier 18, has been nerfed from 40% chance to proc combo breaker on a Rising Sun kick to 30%. And not really too much of an issue, Era, you think?
I think it just comes down with the balancing of things. It's the fact that so many Rising Sun kicks. I think we were talking about the playstyle being a little bit spammy.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be to tune that down. I actually haven't seen too much written about this on the forums at all. I just know it happened. It's a change.
Yeah.
We get to deal with it. We'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. There were a couple of bug fixes specific to Monk for encounters in Hellfire Citadel. Apparently on Gorfine's stomach area, if you had Zen Sphere rolling, there were certain situations where you would get stuck down there and eventually get killed. So that has been fixed. So if you ran into that, then you shouldn't run into that anymore. And apparently Revival was overpowered, able to wipe the Fell Bomb. I'm not sure which encounter this was. I'm guessing this was the
This is
Barracoa?
Iskar?
Iskar.
Yeah, Iskar.
Yeah, so it was wiping Fell Bomb without having the Eye of Anzu. So they have
Totally
fixed that.
fair and balanced.
Right. Just wipe the whole raid. We're fine. We're good.
Just yeah.
Yep. So that's been fixed. And there was one for the Brewmaster you saw, Blue?
This is
I've
me.
seen
I
this
saw this too.
Okay.
popping up a few places. Nimble Brew apparently can no longer break Black Hand's smashes stun, because he stuns you and then you get sent to Timbuktu. So what you could do as a Brewmaster was Nimble Brew and Transcendence right back and continue doing damage. Apparently that was hotfixed to not work. I haven't seen this myself. I've seen people mention that it has happened or does happen. This just simply might be in line with Blizzard deciding that tanks are not allowed to break raid boss stuns, because a Hellfire Citadel example is Gromog Walker
Gromog.
guy jumps in puddles. That guy.
Gromog.
One of his tank mechanics is he stuns the tank and they can't move, kind of like Margok's ability, where you can't move in the fortified phase, except you literally can't do jack diddly about it, and it's really frustrating, but you can't maneuver out of that. So I think that might just be a parity thing, or it might be something going forward. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah,
Could also be a bug. They could have misclassified it as a different type of CC.
possibly.
We'll see.
We don't know. And I mean, for Black Hand, obviously not terribly relevant anymore.
Right. There are still some
Quite
teams
honest.
out doing it, and that can affect some strategies, but
And I mean, a lot of teams will probably go back later in the expansion and kick them over in Mythic for mounts when they
Right.
have like near full Mythic gear or whatever. And
oh yeah,
with a
because he's going to
20%
keep
nerf.
dropping the mountain until the next expansion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The mount will still be there until the next expansion or 7.0 pre-expansion
Right.
patch drops or whatever.
Okay.
So you could go kick him over with the 20% nerf and a lot more gear just for the mount.
Okay. That sounds like
good
that
idea.
actually sounds like a good plan. Get out there and do that. All right, I think that's it for the hotfixes Monk specific. There were a lot of them out there. You can always go to the BattleNet blog and take a look at those and see if anything affects what you're doing. So now it's time to impart some tips and tricks for those raiding monks in.
Fist of Fury. It's go time.
It's been a while since we've been in here. Last kicking in Black Hand a few couple months ago. So now let's go into Hellfire Assault, the first of 13 bosses in the new Hellfire Citadel raid. This fight on normal, really there's no tips for you except for you go enjoy your loot. Heroic gets a little bit more tricky. So let's talk about Heroic Hellfire Assault. Let's go into Brewmaster first.
You got to listen here, because this is a lot. I'm going to say a lot, and you're going to be totally lost. You're going to be confused, and we're going to go over some complicated tactics, but this will help you defeat the encounter. Dave, congrats, you've defeated Hellfire Assault as a tank. Seriously, though, the hardest part about the fight for a tank, from a tank point of view, outside of when you have the large adds, 2 or 3 of them on top of you, is seriously just the ads. It's just picking up ads everywhere without losing time. Yes, we could throw beer at that. We're actually really good at that regardless of Dave. However, if you just keep dropping Dave, you never have to actually do that, so you can keep on tunneling whatever you're tunneling and not standing in front of the drill siege machine that I may have stood in front of a couple times. Yeah, so Dave is your friend. Once again, add fight equals Dave. It makes it really easy to pick them all up. Makes it really easy to keep them corralled together. Don't be afraid to use him, but keep track of him because he does get killed very often. And I replaced him pretty much every 20 seconds or so just because he could get killed so quickly because there's ads coming at a pretty constant clip.
Editor's
don't be
note,
afraid to use Touch of Death.
if you have not been listening to Monk Meditation when we were last going over this, Dave is your statue. Please continue.
You should know who Dave is or you should feel bad. Don't be afraid to use Touch of Death to pick off low health ads. In particular, the Gorebound Fellcasters, because they'll do metamorphosis either when they get low or if they've been up too long. If it's a case of they're low, you can use it to pick them off pretty quick before they get too many bolts off. So just be aware of that. You can also use it for the large ads too, but the Fellcasters are more likely to wipe your raid unless you got like two of the Berserkers on you and they're really, really punching you in the face. Talent glyph-wise, nothing too crazy. You probably want to pull healing elixirs. There's no major hits. You could take dampen harm, but that's going to be useful for like one part, and that's like when there's two hulking berserkers on you or whatever. Not really that great. Healing elixirs, constant steady trickle of healing helps a lot. RJW for your 90 talent. Shuene isn't bad, and you can actually have him for the more stressful or more intense parts of the fight. When you get a lot of the berserkers or the fellcasters, he's helpful there. But Rushing Jade Wind will generally get you a bit more damage, and it's more consistent damage. Kind of pick your poison there, play with it a little bit. I was bouncing between them each pull, and they seemed roughly okay. It's just one I had more constant AOE. And then for 100, I personally used Chi Explosion because nothing was terribly threatening outside of multiple hulking berserkers. And when you're like at 3 or 4 stacks and you have 2 of them on you, you're probably going to either pop Fortifying Brew or have externals rolling on you. If you really are a bit under-geared or you just simply don't feel safe, Serenity is still your safety net and will still give you the extra chi to purify and guard on cooldown and whatnot. And as probably noted, Shuffle isn't as big a deal anymore, but keep in mind the more ads you have on you, the more that 10% parry actually helps you. So that is actually a factor when you're trying to maintain your buffs. The end.
Turn your mic on, Chai.
All right, thank you very much, Labu, and let's go to Air for
You made me
Hellfire
think
Assault.
I thought I lagged out, jerk.
You're
I thought
welcome.
I lagged out.
So, Hellfire Assault is a Windwalker. You would think this is like the best fight in the world. Okay, maybe back in Siege of Orgrimmar, this would have been like the best fight in the world, where you just storm within fire, Russian Jade Wind, win. Remember, guys, it's a different raid now. So, Storm Within Fire is still very useful, especially putting it on the big ads. That's nice. I mean, the small guys die quickly. You're going to do a lot of bursting here with Chi Burst and Spinning Crane Kick. Don't take Russian Jade Wind. Unless there's some other evidence, but if you look at what everyone's doing, you typically see this as a Chi Explode fight. Explode the Chi. So, get your macros set up for Fellcasters, for the big guys, one button sending off with the clones, and that's our mechanics, split apart, AoE everything. We are very good as well for doing the range tanks, Storm Within Fire on one of the incoming siege engines. Normally melee can't get close to some of these because they get knocked back because of the damage
and
on
the fire,
the lightning
and
one especially,
all that,
and the fire. So we are able to help out with that, but if your range is on point, you won't have to worry too much. So you are able to just focus down the hulking guys.
One thing I will also point out is we are excellent at taking the ammo back to the cannons. We are one of the most mobile classes with Transcendence, Tiger's Lust, Flying Serpent Kick, rolls. We can quickly deliver and quickly get back to the fight. So if you don't mind your numbers being slightly lower, go ahead and help out your team and pick up those boxes.
Yeah, put in a request for your raid leader to help out with that. I know we had one of our hunters doing it this time. I imagine warriors be quite good with the jumps and everything like that too. But I imagine with our toolkit is quite nice for that too. As far as talents,
help, yeah.
Yes, and yeah, gotta make sure that's always it's another good tier for transcendent abuse, kind of. Talents and glyphs. If you're looking for the my health is getting really low and I'm in trouble, diffuse magic is really nice because the only thing that's really going to affect you is the Fellcaster is shooting fire everywhere.
Yep.
That's kind of your old crap kind of thing. Otherwise, I really don't see a problem with maybe taking healing elixirs.
Yeah.
Just for, again, steady healing.
Yeah, dampen harm, nothing really will hit that very often. So dampen harm is kind of useless on this fight for Windwalkers. Diffuse magic, I agree. That's the most danger you're going to be in is if you got two of those Fellcasters going at the same time, and that will severely dampen that. So
yeah. First kill, we were using. I was using leg sweep just because it's a good AOE stun for the guys. I'm also going to play around a bit with our long-lost friend, Ring of Peace.
Why is that?
Because you got a lot of things casting, and there's a lot of interrupts you can use. Why not?
Does it actually do that anymore? I thought they changed.
I don't. No, I mean, I've been using Ring of Peace a lot in Tanan.
Okay.
When pulling everything.
Yeah.
And it does. I mean, lesser mobs it will incapacitate. It will stop from casting. I haven't tried it. If anyone has tried it, shoot me a message. Let's see how this works. It's something that I just have not heard anything about. So
The
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Fellcasters, I will say, once they've hit Metamorphosis, you can't interrupt them.
No, those you cannot. No.
So that's when it's...
That might stop the repair, though.
Maybe. That would be one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but, help out the podcast, guys. Send us a message if you've been playing around with that.
Yeah, I think all three
otherwise-
of those in the tier have their uses. I usually go with Ox Charge Wave instead of Leg Sweep, so because I'll notice someone's repairing way out there and Never land and hit them with.
It's also shorter cooldown, which is a nice little boon.
Which is nice.
Can you use your paralysis?
Yes.
On the engineer.
I believe so.
No, so get your Brewmaster tanks with the 15-second cooldown to get on that too. That's actually a really nice interrupt paralysis because even if they have a dot on them ticking, you can interrupt cast with that, which is a really nice thing.
Yeah, and if you're a Panda, use your Quaking Palm as well. That also works as an interrupt. So
Panda?
Yeah.
Draenei Master Race? Duh.
Who's a Panda these more any days? Yeah, otherwise, healing tier, Chi Burst, explode all the things. Yep. And if you're looking for, if you have a really high haste build, if you're probably going with Ascension, but otherwise, if you're like me and most of your stuff's multi-strike and crit for stuff, Chi Broom to get that burst Chi for your Chi Explosion when all the ads are up is something a lot of people are going with right now too.
Okay, yeah, that is an interesting point because normally when you go with Chi Explosion, you're going with Ascension, but yeah, if you don't have a very high haste build, then it's definitely worth checking out Chi Brew instead. Get you more of the Tiger Eye Brew for right off the bat too.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of burst needed in that fight because you have to burst down single ads or burst down those tanks when they come out. So
totally.
Yeah, it's a good idea. All right, for Mistweavers, not too much. This is a fight where you can be in Crane stance pretty much all the time. So as long as your mana can sustain it, take Rushing Jade Wind and Crane and just go ham. And just the balls you're going to put out for healing and the just massive amounts of Eminence healing you're going to put out is going to be really, really strong. So, Monkey wrote in here, Howling Axe. What is that mechanic? I'm not aware of that mechanic.
It's a range thing?
Is it a range thing?
Maybe? A healer thing?
Howling Axe.
I'm a tank. I don't do mechanics, including standing out of the way of giant drill
Mistweavers don't usually do mechanics either, so I wonder if... I don't know. Yeah. But he wrote in here, so I usually trust him. So he says, if you get Howling Axe, use Transcendence to get out of it. So... I didn't get hit, but I actually haven't done Mistweaver on this.
Unless he's talking about Hellfire High Council.
That might be too. I don't know. We'll see.
That's kind of an axe.
He'll correct us next time.
Yeah, he'll
yell at us
in a
and
month.
call us
yeah,
plebs,
right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yep. After he gets world first. Yeah. So, all right, students. Now it's time to meditate and expand our knowledge in.
Transcendence.
So, seems like every show we stumble across a tidbit of information brings us a little bit closer to a fuller understanding of the monk class. Here are the things we learned this week.
Well,
go ahead, Air.
I got it. Okay, this is not maybe monk specific, but word is slowly traveling around the internet. Maybe even as slowly as your shipyard missions. Well, if you don't like that, build yourself a mage tower. You get these, you get Pexis crystals, which is really nice, but you also get these little things called mission completion orders. Now what these do is, you click it, and you click a garrison mission, or a shipyard mission, and it instantly completes it.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
So those 48-hour ones you can just instantly complete.
Instantly done. Yeah, wow. I'm on my third legendary thing already because of it.
Jeez.
Third legendary shipyard mission because of it. It's a great way to quickly get through things. You can usually get 2 or 3 a day, it looks like, on average. So you are capped to 5, but with the shipyard, you're probably using more than your cap.
There aren't too many ogres in Tanan, so getting those waystones are going to be a little bit harder now. But still, worth going to farm them for a little bit.
Go to Frostfire Ridge.
Yeah.
If you want them.
And just go to
on that same note, hey, shipyard, you're probably a little bit garrison resource starved right now because everything costs 500 resources. It just so happens you probably have finished Hellfire Citadel in some manner. If you remember those old heroic dungeons, what item level they were at, now you can go raffle stomp everything in there. So don't forget about your daily Muradin 175 garrison cash, and your daily heroic 50 garrison cash you can get. So 225 garrison resources per day for queuing up as a tank, an overpowered tank, queuing up as an overpowered healer for insta-queues, and if you're Windwalker, you should hopefully be one of those two to get a quicker queue.
Right.
Do that. Brewmasters in particular are a bit overpowered in those dungeons right now, because stuff just doesn't hurt.
So, yeah.
And I keep on running. And I kept running.
Spec into Russian Jade Wind, and go ham. It's just, everything melts.
So can I say how annoyed I was on Saturday seeing the blue beat me on the DPS meters in Hellfire?
Is that, compared to your entire raid group, I grossly outgear your entire raid group, right?
Still annoying.
It's that Chi Explosion, right?
I was using Chi Explosion.
Yeah.
I didn't feel
Chi Explosion and
friggin'...
friggin'
I was full ham
smash.
DPS.
Yeah.
As far as a monk-specific tip, when you are running older content, or you feel like... Let's say you have a warrior friend, and in your raid, a warrior friend, and their rallying cry happens to be off cooldown, for bosses, for anything, pair up with that, make good friends with that warrior friend of yours, because rallying cry plus fortify and brew, plus if you're running a dungeon, a stamina flask means you're doing 750,000 touch of death. Just saying. Just saying. That's
to Orgorger when Brewmasters were doing that to be complete scumbags, because you could touch death the boxes instantly.
Touch of death is something to never be overlooked, and any way you can get more out of it, I'm just saying.
I think I got that hint when the entire raid team was screaming at me to touch of death the last 700k when I'd already touch of death. But
right.
Keep that in mind. Touch of death.
Yeah, I remember everyone was calling Touch of Death, and I'm like, there's no way he forgot that. He must have already used it like a while ago.
Yeah.
But,
that's all the new stuff I got right now.
Not scumbag Peter.
Right.
With all the new things coming,
one thing that I would suggest if you're out there in 6.2 content, if you're out soloing as a Windwalker, take Hurricane Strike when you're out soloing.
What?
Because unless you're pulling like mass trash mobs, which it can happen like in the harbor and stuff like that, where Chi Explosion would be good. It takes a lot of ramp up time, and Chi Explosion, Hurricane Strike, you can kill a ton of stuff really quickly. It's just a one button shot, pretty much. since there's so much ramp up time needed for Serenity, like when you get into the rares and stuff like that, Serenity and Chi Explosion would be better, but most of the time you're out there just killing little stuff. So I prefer Hurricane Strike out there for that. Just don't forget to change back once you get into the raid, because then you'll feel silly when you go to hit your Serenity and you just start spinning like crazy. So yeah, the Heal Lover does say that Hurricane Strike is actually decent for the world mobs, and I absolutely prefer that when I'm out there doing that. So one thing to look into. All right, well, let's get into our main discussion topic. Let's talk about 6.2 in the live and see how things are going so far. What are our initial impressions? I know for me, let's just talk about Tanan Jungle really quick. I like it. I'm still having that same problem I had with Timeless Isle, where it's like I'm wanting to do rare farming, and someone's like, oh, so-and-so is up. And you go running halfway across the map, AV on his feather, get there, and it's dead. Quite annoying. What are your guys' thoughts?
There's an item for that. I want to say there's an item for that.
There is an item for that, but it doesn't... Mob. A, you can't unlock it yet. And B...
You can.
That's tied to the non...
It's the Arakoa rep.
What?
Is it there? Is it the Apexis Daily rep?
Yeah, the
Apexis Daily and an Apexis Daily.
Yeah, it's like gated, isn't it?
There's an item that allows you to transport yourself to any rare in general area.
That one's revered.
I have it already. It's honored.
There's two versions. Yeah, there's the blue one. The blue one takes you within to rare within 500 yards.
Yeah. So I mean that does work.
So that one does work.
Yeah, that will take a while.
It has taken me to the one I didn't care about before too. So if there's two of them,
I've been
do that. But there's another one. There's a purple one that will take you to a rare anywhere in Tanan, which is really cool. But you know this is going to happen every time where someone's like, "Oh, Doom Roller's up." You're like, "Yay, let me get over there!" And you hit it, and you end up like way over in Hell's Half Acre next to this piddly ass rare. You know, it's going to happen.
This is a problem I have with Tanan right now, is that the phasing issues that they've seemed to have introduced with, you have all these people in one area, and you really are not able to show all of them for server reasons, for lag reasons, whatever. It's the reason probably why Storm Shield looks so empty all the time. Mm-hmm. You have just multiple instances of the same area, and people are spread out. And I know when the patch first happened, you would hear the yell for a rare, but it wasn't necessarily your phase.
Yeah.
And right now we have the same. They took out the yell, they fixed that, but the general chats are all connected still.
Yep.
So you have someone saying, "Hey, Doom Roller's up." You go there, it's not your phase. You have to be invited by that person to see the rare. And as optimistic as I am, that's a freaking stupid system.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty terrible. Like I've ran into that because I usually am out questing with Lady Chai. And so we're in a group together, and then someone says Doom Roller's up. We go there, and then like we have to disband group, both get invited, and then by that time it's already dead. So it's pretty terrible.
We're playing this game. You know, they got this new area, and this is kind of segueing into how I feel. I like Tanan. It's a great area. There's a lot of stuff to do. I loved Timeless Isle. I still go back to kind of finish my bigger bag achievement whenever I have some free time. I'm liking the dailies are really cool. There's a lot of neat art. There's a lot of neat discoveries to be found, like small little tidbits here and there. But this, it's been, the best part has been seeing people out in the world.
Yes.
You're out somewhere, you see a random person, you're both in the throne of Kil'jaeden, you see someone, invite them to your group, because two people killing stuff is a lot faster. I get that experience again. It's amazing, and it's put that multiplayer back in MMO.
Yep.
But when you have these phasing things, I mean, maybe it's because there would be literally 1,000 people everywhere. Okay, I kind of understand that. But let's reduce some of that. Let's get more people. I want to see people out there.
At least, like, if it's in your general chat, make that be in your phase.
Yeah, phase the general chat too.
Yep.
It's like don't do half and half. If I'm completely wrong about this, I'm getting mad at nothing, and then I'll continue shouting at cloud somewhere else. But that's how it really seems right now.
Yeah,
and I would like to see that changed.
The rare hunting is really annoying. One thing I do like is that there was that one in Timeless Isle, and they have a repeat one here, a daily quest, or it was either daily or weekly, where you have to kill 5 rares. Here you have to get 10 rares or 10 items, treasure items. They did add little treasure chests that just kind of spawn randomly around.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That will have them.
Little purple chests.
Yeah, it gives you the opportunity to actually just run around and explore and give you a reason to explore, which is really nice. One thing that I really kind of don't like is that the rares have a chance to drop their toys and pets and items. It's not a guaranteed.
Isn't that just like Timeless Isle, though?
That's Timeless Isle.
Yeah,
it keeps them engaging. It keeps you hunting them for quite a long while.
It makes you have to kill them more than once.
I'll tell you the one that really shouldn't be there, though, and shouldn't be that way, is that Blood Moon event. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I did it once and got my toy.
I hate you so much. I spent 45 minutes out there with a group of people finding those stupid shards, and finally got it down and no pet. And I was like, I'm going to stab something. And I went and touched a death something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That takes a while. Group Finder's your friend, though. Although you can only kill it once per day, too. So, but I mean, you can look for a Blood Moon group in Group Finder, and that will help speed you up at least once a day.
Right.
But I totally understand. I have some people on my raid team who are still hunting that down. So.
I did get the Fell Pup today, though, so I'm happy about that.
That's good.
Yep. So overall, I think I like it. There's a couple of annoying things about it, but it gives us reason to keep going out there. This has been the first time in a while where I've logged in every day wanting to go do it. Instead of like logging and just doing my garrisons and trying to look for something to do. One thing I will say I'm salty about is the Saberstalker rep.
Wait,
boring.
Whoa.
What?
There's a quest you could do to get that rep up. No need to grind. Just do that weekly quest. You don't need to grind it.
I don't think is there a weekly quest?
They don't want to give
it?
you grind reps.
There is.
They're supposed to be.
Kill the 3 bosses.
Oh, that's the weekly. Okay, there is a daily that the little gnome girl. One of the dailies she'll gives you 1800 Saberstalker rep as well. She's got the Fell Blood and then a Beast one. The Beast one I got yesterday, so that one gives you a little bit of rep there. But I've gone out there and I've got into a farm group and we go and I'm farming for I get maybe about 2,000 rep and I'm like, nope, not feeling it. I'm done.
What? But that's such a wonderful design system for rep.
5 members
it's so
of our
engaging.
Team on day 1. I think it was at least one Boomkin, Disc Priest, it had Spencer, Druid healing, everything, Brewmaster tank. They went through 0 to Exalted in less than an afternoon.
Yeah.
Or Revered,
whatever.
Revered.
I think if you got in there with friends, that would be a lot more fun. I've just joined in kind of pre-made groups. It's terrible. Not fun.
Yeah. The thing is, you have to be careful about that because the rep is designed, I don't know if it's designed to be done in maybe small groups and not big groups, not done quickly.
Yeah.
The items you get from this rep, the really, like the follower, some other things, they require a lot of these claws, these that you got to get.
Yep.
And if you're doing it in a big group, you're going to be seriously starved for claws by the end.
Right.
Because, you need a ton of these. So, you're heroically geared. You're going to be normal or heroically geared, even LFR geared in Hellfire eventually. Do that stuff solo. You'll get so many claws you won't have to worry about. It'll take you. It's going to take you the same amount of time regardless to get everything.
You got to ask what you value at that point. Are you just doing it for flying?
I'm also going to caution you against that. If you're going as Windwalker, I went out there and you get people jumping on you. You get ads coming in all over the place. I died so many times, and I'm like 690 something.
Brewmaster Playground. I should have mentioned.
Yeah, you have to go.
This is why everybody uses a Brewmaster.
Yep. Because Windwalker will just get raffle stomped after a while. It's pretty bad. And it's like I was popping every cooldown I had. I Deceptive in the chat room. I just want to bring this up really quick. In the dojo, he did mention Fist of Fury not being interrupted by knockbacks anymore. Have you noticed that, Air?
I haven't. Actually, I paid attention to it.
Yeah, I have noticed that there's a couple of abilities that some rares and some things do in the iron, the docks.
Iron somewhere.
The docks. Yeah. And I remember getting knocked back, and my Fist of Fury is still going. So hopefully that's been fixed. I don't know if that's going to work in raid encounters. We'll have to find out.
Time to go queue up Orgorge or LFR and find out.
Yep, indeed. All right, so let's talk about... Oh, go ahead, Lobo.
Wait, no, it's fine.
No,
I'll just be salty.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I've kind of dubbed Tanan as content I'm not terribly interested in. I think I haven't made this a great secret. I would say my biggest gripe... I have actually tried to do Tanan stuff. As much as I say, what's that? My ship sank because I didn't use it. I actually... Not only LeBlue, I actually got an alt hunter who's on Tanan. And I've done a couple of the dailies and stuff, and my biggest gripe with it, I guess, is it all feels like a really big Apexis daily area.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be lying to you if I said I'm fond of the Apexis daily go kill thing.
I took a very different view after the Q&A when they were talking about how they consolidated a whole bunch of they looked at the Golden Lotus reps dailies, and they said, okay, go kill 10 of these guys, go kill one of the big mobs, go rescue this guy, go pick up these 5 things. Instead of having to do all that, you kind of decide what you want to do. Like, my favorite part about these kind of Apexis things is you get to decide what you think is most fun. So I like the harbor area for my dailies. Anytime that pops up, I go there because you can get the ammo and jump into the cannon and blow down the Rylax and blow up. Here's a pro tip. When you get into the cannon, you can blow up the tank, so you don't have to have those little mines. And that gives you a crap ton of percentage. So
I guess I'm not saying that the Apexis dailies, even though I think that for what they're trying to do, there is obviously room to grow. There always is. I feel like it's a kind of a play style thing. Like, I enjoy, and I'm not saying I enjoyed doing 10,000 dailies every single day in Mists of Pandaria. They definitely swung too far to one side. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do enjoy the context that comes with dailies. And I'm less favorable towards the more choose your own adventure, open-ended adventure thing. And I'm not saying that you liking or preferring a system akin to Apexis is wrong. It just obviously appeals to a very different audience.
Right.
I actually have a lot more willingness, because I believe the Hand of the Prophet, the Draenei rep or whatever, I believe that's closer to the 5.1 rep, to where you do dailies until you open up the next rep, and then you get I'm more apt. I will probably actually do that, and I will probably enjoy doing that. But then you have the stupid bird people who are like, go to this Apexis daily, but not one. You got to do two Apexis dailies. That nothing about that makes me interested in it, and I actually appreciate that they did put the different kinds. You have the rep grinds, the mob grinds, which I'm sure there's people who do enjoy that. And they do like seeing that bar slowly trickle up, and they feel accomplished when they do it. They have the Apexis zones, which there's people who I'm sure actually enjoy that, even if it's getting literally shoved down their throats because there's so many of them.
Right.
And then there's the people who do enjoy the context of dailies and like seeing that story they slowly unlock. There's stuff for different audiences. And I will completely throw this in context of I'm a wee bit salty about this expansion. I don't know if you've noticed that yet.
No.
So do take that into mind. I'm not as enamored with Tanan as I was with Timeless Isle. I actually really enjoyed being at Timeless Isle and doing stuff.
Me too.
I'm having a little bit harder time doing that with Hellfire Citadel and Tanan. That said, that also might be a theme thing, because I haven't been too big on the theme.
Yeah, Timeless Isle, it felt like when you went out there, it was a playground. Like, you go out there, it's like, oh, this island just showed up. No one's been there in centuries. Go out and explore. And here it's like, all right, you have to stop Gul'dan. All right, cool.
Here's another gripe, and this is 100% aesthetic. When we were going to Tanan Jungle, and I understand that it's all fell corrupt and stuff, I was thinking, okay, we're going to a jungle or swampy area, and this is going to be kind of cool because of the aesthetic. I thought this was a really good opportunity, do like a super awesome updated version like Dust Wallow Marsh or something. Especially if you watch the
Preview.
Lords of War stuff. Remember, if you remember Kilrogs, like how that looked. That's kind of what I was looking for. Little disappointed that it doesn't really look
There are
like
a few
that.
areas that are like that. Zero
A lot of
Marsh
it, a lot of it reminds me more almost of a slightly sparser Southern Gorgrond,
yeah.
and I don't know, like and that's entirely aesthetic, and I can't objectively or even try to be objective on criticizing a style, an art choice like that. It's just something that didn't jive with me.
Yeah, so I kind of like the way it's designed.
And then, like
because,
Karn says, Timeless Isle is way too open, and Sandbox Tanan gives some guidance.
yeah, it does. One thing I do like about Tanan, though, is that the different areas are distinct.
It's all preference.
You go through and you get to the marsh, and you get to the Bleeding Hollow, and you get to the Iron Docks, and it's like each little area is just it's almost like a full zone of different areas. Where Timeless Isle, it just looked like, all right, well, here's your frog area, and here's your little village, and here's your, so
Right.
here
I
it's
guess,
actually geographically distinct.
I guess in my case, it's I was expecting something with Timeless Isle. I was expecting a small Pandaren island, and I got it. And those expectations were met, and I enjoyed the theme of Pandaria, even though I know some did not, and that's
I did.
personal opinion. And at the same time, I was expecting something with Tanan, and it just kind of got chalked onto my list of things that I was a little disappointed in. I'm not saying it's wrong or bad, because it's a completely subjective thing.
Right.
That's just something that kind of struck me immediately, and I was a little disappointed with.
Yeah.
So far as Tanan itself is concerned.
Okay. So let's talk about the raid so far in Hellfire Citadel. What are you guys' impressions so far? I mean, I've been into first 6 bosses where we've engaged Gore Fiend. The battle areas are quite large. And you're muted, Air.
No, I'm not. I'm just not talking.
Okay.
A lot of the areas you fight have been
I
large
You're
was
just
so
making
far.
another
Speaking
GIF for Mazer. I got it.
I was speaking with my face. Yeah. I mean, these are massive areas.
I will say that I've had a lot of people tell me. I'm lagging, aren't I?
You're fine. Keep going.
I will say that I've had a lot of people tell me that it picks up the later in you get in the instance, and the start is a little slow. I've told you this, Chai, that it does, like for me right now, I'm not keenly interested in how the raid is, and I would be remiss to say I wasn't at least a bit bored with it still. And I'm kind of hoping it picks up right now, but I would say it is definitely too early to tell.
Right.
And let me know if that all gets through.
Yeah, it did. The first few bosses definitely are much slower than the other ones. I really liked the mechanics in Comrock. Comrock? Is that Gomrock? Whatever.
Cormrock. Corn dog. I'm going to call
Corn
it. I'm
dog.
going to say corn dog.
As a tank,
Oh, God.
Corn Dog was the most frustrating, annoying, make myself throw something. Listen, all right, I'm going to go on a pseudo rant here. I understand they're trying to make tanks actually have interesting jobs and do more than taunt on X stack. You know what's not fun, though? Freaking getting chucked across a room, made unable to do anything, completely immobilized, running away from the boss for periods of time frequently. That is freaking obnoxious, and I think actually, Chai, you caught a bit of me ranting this.
Oh, yes.
I was flipping out, not happy. I know they're trying to find new things for tanks to do. I understand this. However, I'm not happy with that right now, and I hope we don't continue to see that. I like seeing tanks get special assignments, like positioning with Siegecrafter, for example, because that was fantastic for tanks and moving stuff. That was great. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I always was actively engaged in something. But freaking being stunned for 8 seconds, unable to move, getting swatted across the room so I could run away, running away from the boss every freaking 10 seconds, that was not fun. That was freaking annoying. And I really hope that doesn't continue, and I really hope we don't see too much more of that, because that grinds in my gears so hard.
Oh, how was the running away on the second boss on Iron Reaver? Did you like that?
I think I pretty much said that about 3 times how I felt about that Netlook rant there.
That was the Imperator fight doing that part. I
Right,
mean,
that
that's
was the
all that
Imperator
was.
mechanic again. Yeah, hopefully that will pick up. One thing I will say is that a lot of these fights so far early on in Hellfire is not melee friendly. It is not a good time to be a melee in the first part, and I'm hoping that will pick up later on. Iron Reaver is a pain. What error?
Okay, you said done 6 bosses. Iron Reaver is 1 boss.
Mm-hmm.
The other, Gore Fiend, maybe so much not, but otherwise, Hellfire Assault, being a melee, easy.
Yeah.
Okay, third fight, that's High Council.
High Council, I've seen once
pretty
because we
easy.
one-shot it, so
Yeah,
okay,
that's,
whatever.
That's 2. So we got 2 bad, 2 good.
Kilrog,
Kilrog.
not melee friendly.
It's melee friendly if you have enough range.
Right.
If you don't
melee,
have enough range,
melee
melee
just get to
heavy,
sit there
you're
and
screwed.
go and just get to dance a little bit.
Melee,
Kill the boss.
you have to be very, very specifically positioned. If you are just out of position, you get hit by that stupid red crap that hit it, and then you can't see it on the ground.
I mean, the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yes, this requires to have a balanced raid in that case,
Yeah.
which
No, Kilrog reinforces the old notion of you can never have too much ranged. You can always have too much melee.
Right.
Badly.
But at least it's okay. I would say, as long as you have that kind of balance there, super easy melee fight.
Right. A little too
Or
easy
you just
at that
have all
point.
ranged. Or
And,
you just
okay.
all ranged.
So, and then Gore Fiend, mine is chasing down the ads.
Yeah.
Which can be a
Chasing
problem.
down the ads is one of the biggest concerns I have with that fight, especially with my team being so melee heavy. Because a hunter or a mage or a warlock can just sit there right in the middle and have a 180-degree view of that room.
Well, yeah, minus except that they're running away from everything too.
Right.
They're running away from constructs. I mean,
No,
they
I'm
have
talking
that
about in the
problem.
stomach.
Okay.
For us particularly, outside of the stomach, really easy, storm, earth, and fire and go to town. Like, not an issue, right? But it's inside the stomach is a major problem for melee in that fight. So I'm only seeing less than half of the instance. I can't really talk too much yet on my full impressions, but so far mixed. I really like the theme. I love the huge playground that we have every time. I mean, in most of these boss encounters, Iron Reaver, like you have ridiculous raid area.
It's almost too big.
Yeah.
It's like it's so big. You can get so spread out to the detriment. Part of the challenge is staying relatively focused where you need to be, which is something that we have not had to deal with, I think, since forever.
Yeah.
Since I mean, I wasn't
Iron
raiding
Juggernaut
back then,
is
but
kind of like one of the only other ones where ranged really
that
comes
was
into play.
big. But I mean,
Because the
looking at
first time in forever.
Oh, shut up. You're going to get us pulled. Stop it.
so yeah, I mean, but I mean, for what I've seen so far, I'm really liking Hellfire. Again, I think I said I really liked Siege back in the day, and it's still decently fun. All the fights have been really fun. All the tiers so far, but I mean, there's this eerie kind of art style. Yes, the music sucks. It's all rehashed. I'm a bit annoyed at that, but the fight mechanics we're seeing are really interesting from a DPS perspective. There's a lot of really neat things happening when things go right. With like Kilrog, when you have your range doing the perfect arc in one team, it looks so beautiful. It's like you're like, there's some happy trees up here and painting some over here. There's a lot of really neat things here, and I'm really looking forward to the coming weeks getting deeper into heroics and seeing the mythic mechanics as soon as possible.
Mythic mechanics look like they're going to be a lot of fun as long as they were properly tested and implemented. So thank you, Monkio. Thank you, Midwinter, for beta testing this for everybody. We really appreciate it. And we do wish everybody that's hitting Mythic tomorrow the best of luck. Good luck in there. Try not to encounter too many bugs. And all right, any last thoughts on 6.2? All right, moving on. Well, it's now time to travel to the Peak of Serenity, the home for all monks in
Zen Pilgrimage.
Monks, assemble!
All right, if there are any questions in the dojo, get them to us now. We'll be happy to go over them. There was a recruitment post out there. If you are or your team are looking for a monk, we happen to know a few. If you're looking for one for your raid team, you can reach out to us at show@monkmeditation.com or hit us on Twitter at monk_meditation. We'll be happy to go over it with you. All right, and the Knights of Old on Malagos US Alliance side is searching for a Mistweaver as they move into 6.2. They raid Friday and Saturday from 9 to 12 Eastern. I did not catch whether that was AM or PM, so I'm assuming PM. They also raid Sunday 8 to 11 Eastern time. You can contact Wiseman, that's WAIZMAN, #1348 on BattleNet for more information. All right. Any questions in the dojo that I saw? Did Air just channel Bob Ross? Yes, I think he did.
Happy trees as far as the eye can see.
And then I think there's a recruitment request coming into the dojo as well. Let's see. We'll come back to that shortly. All right. Go ahead.
It was mentioned earlier in the chat. Deceptive also mentioned that if you'd notice, Zen Sphere is no longer canceling your feasting anymore.
Thank God.
So,
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's good to see. That's really good to see. I'm happy to see that.
Is that
yay.
that's one way to troll people?
Yeah, if anyone's not following Misumi on Twitter, I recommend it for Brewmaster information, especially seeing his self-healing charts with the 4-set.
Oh, God. He was
not
beating
broken.
out everybody.
Not broken. He nearly doubled the healing of the next person down on a fight. Because Brewmaster...
That's completely... Yeah, we're going to outpace Death Knights in self-healing, the self-healing tank. Yep. Go us.
I'm okay with that.
That means I don't have to worry about healing you, so I can focus on everybody else. That's good. You're going to piss off Eve really bad, though. All those holy paladins, going to make them cry. All right, well, I think that's all we got from the dojo. So, again, if you have any information you want us to go over, feel free to reach out to us at show@monkmeditation.com. We'll be happy to go over that. All right, guys, I think it's time to put the brew away. So, if you could please reach out to iTunes. You go to iTunes or Stitcher, or YouTube, Twitch.tv. Leave us a review, 5-star or otherwise. We'll be happy to go over that on the show. We do appreciate the feedback, and it really helps us in the rankings, so please do that. And if you would like to help support the show and help it grow and get even better, you can become our boss by going to patreon.com/monkmeditation. You can help guide the future of the show and get some fun rewards along the way, including a lovely t-shirt. All right. Air, do you have any shout-outs, sir?
You know what I do, and it's not my typical shout-out, but this shout-out goes out to the funky monk himself, Coltrane. You might have heard him on the show once or twice. He's always, since I started playing WoW, he's always been there on the CTR podcast, making things really enjoyable. He just celebrated the 4-year anniversary of the show and his final show for himself. So, good luck, buddy. You're one of the really great, nice people in this world of Azeroth, and wish you nothing but luck in the future.
Yeah, agreed. Major shout out to Coltrane. Sir, you were a huge inspiration to getting the podcast off the ground. If you haven't listened to the interview we had with him, go back to the site or check it on YouTube and find it's absolutely worth a listen. And so, best of luck to whatever your future holds, sir. And I want to give a shout out to Calligraphy Monk and our hunter Vidaria for sending in gifts for the wedding that we had last week. So always nice to get a little love from the community as well. So absolutely thank you. All right, LeBlue, you got shout-outs?
I'm going to jump on the Coltrane here and also give him a shout-out. And thanks you for everything you've done. Him and the Convert to Raid podcast is actually why I got interested in podcasting. And if I hadn't listened to them or Coltrane, I probably wouldn't be here right now doing this crazy thing of shouting on the internet. And other shout-outs, Jamal and the whole team of Rectified for taking me in and giving me a fair shake with Trial. I really appreciate it, and I hope to have some fun and maybe stick around for the long haul. We'll see how that goes. And then Calligraphy, for taking me into her free company on Final Fantasy XIV that I may or may not have been playing pretty much with all of my free time, potentially. Level 60!
All right, and as part of the Monk community, if you have a blog, website, or person you want to see on the show, please reach out to us via email at show@monkmeditation.com. The Monk community is the best one in the world of Warcraft. We want to showcase it. LeBlue, how can the dojo best reach us?
You can follow the show at monk_meditation. Follow Chai T at WowMonk. Follow Air at AirWalker. Follow Monkio at Monkio. You can follow me at Kagarai_LeBlue.
All right, thank you all for listening. There will be no show in 2 weeks. It'll be the first one we miss. We apologize profusely for this. I will be in international waters at the time, and the internet is really expensive and really crappy out there, so no show. You can watch us live Monday, July 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, midnight UTC at twitch.tv/wowmonk. You can also visit monkmeditation.com for links to all the ways to watch and listen to the show.
Oh, you know what's really cool about that?
What?
That should be the last time I'm on this really crappy internet.
Woot! Yes!
Hopefully. We'll see.
And Monkio should be back for that one. If the race for World First lasts that long, I really sorry
World
for
First race is going to last until, like, September.
Gotta wait till you get your $7.95 ring to beat Archimon.
Oh, God. All right.
Something like that.
That wraps up this episode of Monk Meditation.
May your bruise be strong and your heart stronger.
Good night, everybody.
I rolled a 20.